Alrighty. It's been a while since I posted, and that's simply because I haven't had anything to post. I'm sorry. It's kind of a boring winter around here. I mean, you can't race cars in fucking 30-degree weather. So, anyway, I have a couple videos coming up across a couple different topics, but today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about my favorite class of drag racing. Now, you might notice that I post a lot of NHRA related content. You might think, oh, this kid likes the funny cars, likes the top fuel cars. You might notice that, hey, a lot of the NHRA videos focus on the pro mods. While about, I'd say 6 months ago, that was my favorite class. Now I kind of feel like pro mod is getting to this point where it's too much pay to win. And what I mean by that is you can call RJ Race Cars and get you a rolling 69 Camaro, pour your seat insert in it, and you're good to go. You can call Proline and get you a Pro Charged or Harch Charged, well, usually Harch Charged now, MH now 8 Hemi, and call a couple other people, wire the car up, and you can drive a Pro Mod for about 500 grand. And unfortunately, I'm starting to have the same sentiment that a lot of people are having, which is pro Camaro. And while you do have some diamonds in the rough, like Craig Sullivan, like Jeff Pierce, like I don't know what's his name, Chris Klein, it is very rare nowadays to have a different body style. Hell, I get excited when I see a new model Mustang over a Camaro. That's why I liked what Stan Shelton and Kevin Rivenbark did. But today we are going to talk about my favorite class of drag racing across all fronts. So that's radials, slicks. I'll maybe talk about my favorite radial class one day, but my favorite class of all time as of a couple years ago is PDRA Pro Street. Pro 10.5, Outlaw 10.5, hell, Outlaw Drag Radial if you're really old. Um, that is my favorite class of all time for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is real cars. Factory wheelbase, I think it's the same rule as MPK. You can stretch it or shorten it 2 inches. Real cars, factory wheelbase, and restricted combinations. It is not like how small tire 2810.5 is now, where it's like fully unrestricted power adders to where you're getting 128 over screw cars spraying nitrous in and running 390s at 200. You know, that stuff is dangerous. That stuff is unsafe because of how unreliable those combos can be. Why do you think every screw car runs at 92 over? Why do you think every Pro Charger car or Harch Charger car runs with so much weight in them? Why do you think every combination is so slowed down because of how unreliable they are when they try and go fast? And small tire is unrestricting them, and we've seen the consequences. There have been huge explosions, like knock the front clip off explosions. It's just not safe in my eyes. So, solution for that is Pro Street, Pro 10.5, whatever you want to call it. 3310.5. That's what I'll call it. So, another part of that is the way you drive the car. You watch a Pro 10.5 car go down the track, you maybe squat that much. A lot of the cars run wheelie bars. You take Blake Denton, Chris Cadado, what was the other one that did it? That Red Nova that did it at World Series Pro Mod a couple years ago. Those guys can stand on the back tire and scream through the eighth mile with the front wheels off the ground because they have wheelie bars. You know who doesn't? Small tire. And the scary part about that is those cars have a lot of ballast in the trunk in specific, which if you look at what happened to I think his name is Brandon James a couple years ago, Scribble Nova, out in Vegas at Streetcar Supernats, I think. Yeah. Um, his car lifted the front end off the ground, and because he has a shoebox Nova, it slowly lifted it up until he was off the ground and could not stop it anymore and crashed the car. Now you can say that about radials, but when a radial car does a wheelie, it shoots up quick, like really quick. But in a small tire car, I'll keep putting it in quotations. In a small tire car, you have time to catch it, but usually it's already made up its mind whether it wants to take flight or not because of that ballast in the trunk. Pro Street doesn't do that. And another thing is the way they set up their suspension. You watch a small tire car go down the track, they run like that. And it is because number one, it's because they don't limit front end extension, and number two, it is because of the ballast in the trunk. My problem with that is when you are going down a racetrack, you need to be able to see the finish line. If you are driving with the wall or the center line, that's flat ass dangerous and unsafe in my eyes. You shouldn't have to do that. Pro mods are an exception because they set the front end down at about 400 or 500 foot usually, and you don't have to deal with not being able to see the finish line because you're sitting like this. So, and again, when you're swerving the car all over the lane, to me, that's just dangerous. I don't like it. I don't like that they allow it, especially at these tracks that don't really have the safety equipment to support a car going 4.0s or 4.10s at like 200 mile an hour. They don't have the safety equipment to stop a methanol fire, basically, or get somebody out of a destroyed race car that crashed it because they couldn't see the finish line. So the entire solution to that, the roundabout way of getting there, is Pro Street because it's the same cars on a little bit bigger of a tire with restricted combinations and a safe way of going down the racetrack, and that's what I care about. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of my personal favorite Pro Street cars. I've seen some of them in person. I've seen a couple of them only online, but I have watched the majority of them for years. So, with that being said, let's get into the list. These are in no particular order, but these are just the ones I have written down. Fletcher Cox Training Day. I mean, what can you say? It's a KTR car. It's a nitrous car. It's sexy in black and blue, and it's fast as hell. I'm pretty sure it holds the record. I don't know if they rolled it back or not because they put a bunch of weight on him, but whatever. Tim Messick, the Brown Sugar Mustang. I've seen this thing once in person, or no, twice. Once, twice. I can't remember. I know one of them was at World Cup. One of them was at PDRA Pro Stars a couple years ago. And I just remember he's not on the list, so I'll talk about him. Him versus Bill Lutz. And just the massive blower on Bill's car and this gorgeous brown Mustang just shooting off and running 390s into the sunset. I think I still have the video. It was just, man, that run is what kicked off my love for that class. So Tim Messick, Brown Sugar Mustang. I'm not sure what they've done with it since the tire explosion at World Cup. I hope they've got it back together. I hope they didn't sell it. But yeah, gorgeous car, awesome dude. Love that thing. Chris Cadotto, the flying freaking brick that just won, was it No Time Pro Truck at Lights Out? On the floppies, on the wheelie bars, shut Donald up. The thing is massive. I mean, it's a full size truck with a screw blower hanging out of it. And I think I saw a video on Facebook. It's like 15 years old or something like that. When you got people bringing brand new cars out and can't run worth a shit, and you got that thing still winning races and competing with the other competitive cars in the class. It's just badassery on all levels. Joel Wensley Jr. Simply for the fact that it's a 5-speed. Him and his dad, Wensley Sr. Of course, that's the old Shadow 2.0, one of the baddest cars in history. Um, Both of those cars are sponsored by Liberty Gears, and by proxy, they have the Liberty 5-speed transmissions in them. It's not really as noticeable in the Pro Mod, but when you hear that Pro Charger car in a lower RPM range going down the racetrack, I'll throw a clip in. It's cool. Just the only thing that will make it cooler is a Pro Stock shifter. But Wensley Jr. It's a slick. I think it's a 2014 Camaro. Um, yeah, just awesome car, awesome powertrain too. Love it. Adrian Herrera in the '67 Chevelle. I think it's a Pro Charger car. Yeah, it is. Um, I'm a sucker for Chevelles. I'll straight up say it. It's not my favorite year, which will come up in a minute, but it's a good looking car, and I like the blue that they have on it. I think he was gonna run MPK with it, ended up not because that series died. But yeah, good looking car, runs pretty good. Yeah, those of you who found Randy Adler Jr. on TikTok in like the early 2020s, you'll know who I'm about to talk about. Nick Schroeder and his 0506 GTO. That's a bad MF right there. It's an old car like Canado, but I think the last time they took it out at World Street 2024, I think, they won. So some of you might not know this, some of you might. We used to have an '05 GTO, so that's where that soft spot is. I loved that car. It was awesome, but we had to get rid of it. And Nick's car kind of fills that gap, if you will. This is one that just got converted. Roger Holder in his '69 Camaro. It was a Pro 275 car, and then they moved it over. Even when they had it on a 275, it was a sexy looking car. Um, it runs good. I think they've only ran it at US Street and World Series, but they went rounds at both events. So it's a gorgeous car. The closest thing I can compare it to is the Pressure 484 car. Uh, I think it's a guy named Mario something. He owns that, and he's had Travis Harvey and a couple other people drive it. But yeah, Roger Holder, Brylan Holder, and that family is just awesome. Their Protus 75 2014 Camaro, I think it is. It's got a Pro Charger on it, a couple other things. And then the new model, the orange car they just built for Pro Mod, that's a good looking car too. But anyway, back to Roger. Again, gorgeous car. I hope to see it in person this year. All right, remember when I said I liked Chevelles, but that wasn't the '67 wasn't my favorite year? Favorite year ever, '69 to '70, just straight up. And Ron Fisher's car fills that gap completely. It's like an olive green, I think, and it is pretty. I hope to see it in person this year. It's not the most competitive car, but I think Todd Tutter works on it and tunes it a little bit. If he can get some time behind that car with the way he has Ethan's car running, is going to turn some heads and rip some off in the process. If you've ever seen the old, I think Daytona 500 '69 Camaro with like the roof off or whatever, um, you'd know that Tom Bailey based the new rap of 6 Seconds 2.0 on that car, And the car that I'm about to talk about, Mario Cangini's 69 Camaro, I think was also based off of that car. And he nailed it. The orange and the white, it had a different, I've seen videos of it, it had a different nose on it a couple years ago. And if it still had that nose on it, it wouldn't have made my list. I don't like that nose at all. But the traditional nose that like Fletcher and Roger and all those other guys have, he put it on and it looks way better. The orange Turbo Camaro, love it. All right, last on our list. Uh, I said I like the 70 Chevelles, but my favorite car of all time has to be a second gen Camaro. There's pictures of a silver one that I've seen online. I love that car. And J.R. Webb with his red one that just came out for I think U.S. Street was the first race they ran it, and then I'm pretty sure they ran it World Series. Um, love it. It I don't think it has the like the flat drag wing on the back that a bunch of cars have. My personal opinion is the 70 Camaro is perfect without it. It's a little bit iffy with it, but if there's a good running chassis car without that back drag wing on it, man, it is perfect. I love it. All right, that was the list. Honorable mention I'll throw on here is Billy Glidden. Say what you want about him, say he's a cheater, whatever, but his car, if what I've heard about it is true, it's obviously a clutch car. But he has said it's a small block Ford, and knowing him, he probably manually shifts it with the Pro Stock shifter. That is a really, really cool combination. I like it. Uh, just needs to wrap a scoop on it, and it's gonna be just about perfect. But anyway, that pretty much wraps this one up. I don't really know what else to say.
Most of.
The pictures and videos that I used are from Straight Line Media. He is by far the best and easiest way to watch door car drag racing. He has the best looking footage, the cleanest moving camera footage. Not too much to say, but Kyle's stuff is awesome, and he is where I got the pictures and videos mainly. There might be some other ones thrown in there, but watch the class, please. When Pro Boost and Pro Nitrous and all that other stuff run, and if you're at a Winter Series race, when ProMod runs, stick around and watch Pro 10.5. Who knows? One day, maybe NHRA will pick it up. I know they tried to run the 33.10.5 tire deal with Factory X, I think it was called, but it just wasn't relatable enough for the average person. But if we can get them to pick up the real deal with Pro Street, I think it'll draw a lot of eyes. As long as they keep it F mile, do not run those cars out the back. They don't need to. Tim Essex already proved that. And honestly, I think if IHRA replaced the small tire series they're doing with Pro 10.5, that's the last thing they need to have the perfect lineup. They have nitro, alcohol, pro mod, bracket, and Mount Motor Pro Stock. So really, that's the last class I personally think they need. So, yep, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I got some videos coming soon. I know it's been a really long time. It's just a slow winter around here. So, yeah, thank y'all for watching. Peace.